Hey Susanna, it's Edward here at Merton Hyundai. This is a quick overview of the Sonata and the Ioniq. Now unfortunately I don't have an Ioniq Hybrid in stock, but I do have the Ioniq Electric in stock, which is very similar in size and shape. Well, it's exactly the same in size and shape. There are some notable differences I'll point out real quick. The wheels are a little different. There is a grille on the Hybrid, so please ignore that. And also inside, there is a shifter. This one has buttons, so just ignore that as well. But this is a Sonata Hybrid. This is a 2018 Sonata Hybrid. So what I'll do is I'll show you the vehicles as far as the size and shape and space on the interior. But I do want you to take a little bit of a grain of salt with the Ioniq because it is just the electric. It's kind of unusual that I have an electric and not a hybrid. It's kind of funny because normally it's the other way around. So in any case, here we go. So first off, you'll notice the Sonata is the bigger vehicle. Okay, Sonata is a mid-size sedan where the Ioniq is a compact, and it's actually, I know it looks like a sedan, but believe it or not, it is a hatchback. So I'll show you what I'm talking about in a moment. Yeah, so a little bit larger vehicle. The nice thing about the Ioniq is it does actually have really good interior space for its size. So first what I'll do here, Susanna, is I will open up the back. Now don't mind the flashing, okay? That's just because of the video, basically the video that you're seeing right now is at a certain amount of hertz, and the LEDs tend to actually flash at a different rate. So, all right, so what's cool about this one is I can actually open the trunk just by pushing this little button right here, and the trunk opens up for us. So huge trunk in the Sonata. Lots of space in here. They actually put the accessory battery in the back on this vehicle, and that's just for weight transfer, but also a little bit less space in the engine bay because of the fact that it is a hybrid. So there's an electric motor as well as a gas motor in there. What we're looking at right here is the battery for the vehicle. Now, one major difference between the Sonata Hybrid and the Ioniq Hybrid is the fuel economy. The Sonata is rated for an average of 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers, whereas the Ioniq, depending on the trim level that you get, is either 4.1 liters per 100 kilometers or 4.4 liters per 100 kilometers. So the lower trim, the base model Ioniq Hybrid is 4.1, and then the upper models are 4.4. I love this about the Sonata. We do have a little handle here to close the trunk, so we're not getting our hands dirty while putting our hands on the outside of the vehicle. And we're not dirtying the vehicle with dirty hands, so it's kind of a nice feature. This one also has the smart trunk system, so where if you stand behind the vehicle for a few seconds, the trunk will actually pop open. Let's have a look at the trunk in the Ioniq. So this one here, buttons underneath the H, and as you can see, it's a hatchback. Now there are some benefits to a hatchback. Of course, when we fold the seats down, it's just a ton of space in here. Now, of course, the Sonata also has a 60/40 split rear bench as well, and I'll get to that in a moment. So, good amount of space in the Ioniq still. One thing to note is that the walls are very straight up and down, so there's very usable space back here. With the Hybrid, on the other hand, this is a couple of inches lower, so it's actually more space in the Hybrid than in this particular vehicle. Okay, so just want to keep that in mind while we go look at some of the other aspects of the vehicle. So now what I've done, I've set up the front seat for me, for my height. I'm 6'2", and I'll show you just how much space we have here. So as you can see, I've got lots of headroom. Now, we do have adjustable seat height in all the Sonatas and all the Ioniqs for the drivers, okay? This particular one, this is the lower trim, so it doesn't have power seat, but that is, of course, available. But as you can see, I've got lots of leg room. You know, I'm a good distance from the steering wheel. I haven't moved the seat forward or anything like that. But now I want to jump in the back. I want to sit behind myself so you can see what sort of space the rear occupants have. So let's do that. All right, very luxurious. I could actually be chauffeured around in this and be very, very comfortable. You'll notice that my feet slide underneath the front seat very easily. There's lots of room there. I've got about 4 inches in front of my knees. and about 2 inches above my head. Now back here, of course, we do also have the cup holder armrest, so we can fold that down, and very, very comfortable. Now, if you do have 5 passengers, so middle passenger, of course, a little bit closer to the roof, but still pretty comfortable. There is a little hump in the floor here. It's not too bad. It's only about 3 inches high, and generally the third passenger will have feet on either side. So as you can see, there's still a good amount of space between me and the door. Okay, so for the other passengers, for 5 passengers, this is a very usable space. Okay, now let's have a look at the Ioniq. Now, I actually personally love the Ioniq. It's the vehicle that I own myself. But of course, it is a bit smaller. All right, so let's get into the Ioniq. So the first thing you'll notice is still have good headroom. As a matter of fact, that's pretty close. It's a little bit less than the Sonata. Legroom, a bit less as well. So about half the space between my knees and the seat back. And I can still put my feet under the seat, but not as far, okay? Now we do, of course, still have the cup holder armrest back here as well. And if I move over to the center, all right, so it's a little different story back here. So I'm literally touching the ceiling with my head here. Okay, I wouldn't want to be in the middle of this one, and there's definitely less room here. Still usable in a pinch, but I don't think if you had three adults back here, they'd want to be here for too long. And that's pretty much par for the course for a compact vehicle. And what I'll do right now is I'll jump into the front so you can see where I had the seat placed. Also, you'll notice a larger hump in the floor here, okay? Okay. All right, so seat placement here, basically the same as the Sonata. Still, you know, I'm really comfortable like this. I've got lots of headroom, lots of legroom, and of course we do have the height adjustable seat in this vehicle as well. I'll let you have a quick look at the interior here. Now again, this is the electric, so the hybrid is going to be a little different. You'll notice we got some copper accents here on the hybrid. It's either blue or white, and we'll have a shifter right here as well, of course. The hybrid also has the option for dual zone climate control and paddle shifters as well. With the hybrid you do get a dual clutch transmission, which is basically designed for faster shifts and better fuel economy. So I don't want to go over the features too much because I'm not sure exactly which hybrid or which Ioniq or Sonata that you would choose. There are several different levels, but what I will do is I'll attach a couple brochures for you as well in the email. So, all right, so there you go. Quick overview of the space in the Ioniq and the Sonata. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me directly at 604-795-0836. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.